You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE NXT After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE NXT After Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to AfterBuzz Television. Bing is for doing, and we are doing another AfterBuzz NXT After Show. I'm your host, Ryan Clum, and along with me, as always, is Kelley.
Hello.
And a man who wants to introduce himself, I believe, doing the robot over there, no longer the Emma dance.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kaslov. I'm known as the Russian Hooligan, and I want to welcome all the listeners to WWE NXT on AfterBuzz TV.
Are you auditioning for to be tag team partner with Mr. Neville or Mr. English?
Yeah, Aiden English.
Aiden English. Well, anyways, like tonight we open up with a.
This is getting intense over
I know
here.
Alex is just.
That music's actually rocking.
You like that?
I love it. It's very, very dancey.
You dance to that in your bedroom, don't you? We need to get the bubbles going.
Can we just have it in the background the whole time?
No, absolutely not.
For the remainder of the show.
Anyways, we open up tonight. We find out we've seen a nice little kind of video package catching us up to date on the NXT title picture with Sami Zayn getting a shot tonight.
Yeah, great opening montage.
Their editors are amazing.
Yeah. Setting up the theme of tonight. Finally, after weeks and weeks of ducking Sami Zayn, Bo has to wrestle for the NXT Championship. So, and we know that's going to be. We knew that was going to be spectacular, and it was.
Yeah, it's been a good build-up too. I've been really excited for this match.
Yeah. I feel like overall NXT has had better wrestling than some of the main roster.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't think that's
not a
always,
bad thing.
and that's not always on talent. That's on how creative works sometimes,
And I don't
on
think
what
that's
they're
a bad
told
thing
to do.
either. I mean, it's their company, so they should be happy that it's there.
Right.
These are the talents of tomorrow.
And part of it, I think, for me too, is it's much more digestible to watch a 45-minute NXT than 3 hours of Raw.
Yeah.
You know, after 45 minutes, like, that was great, I want more. Whereas, you know, a couple hours in, we're like, is this show over yet?
I think that the NXT product and sometimes the matches that we get, such as Sami Zayn and Bo Dallas, is of the same quality as you would see on Raw or a WWE pay-per-view. It's of that quality. It's top notch.
And these guys are hungry too. I think that's an important part of it too. These guys are. I mean, these guys aren't making the millions of dollars. You know, they're making.
Enough to survive.
Enough to survive. I mean, they're making okay money. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's they're not raking in the dollars, and they're doing this for the love.
Well, they're doing it
and for potential future.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, and you know, they don't hide it. You know, if you become the NXT champion, you're probably going to the main roster soon after.
Yes.
So that's so the fans know that okay, these guys are not making millions, but why do they do this? Why do they want to be a champion? So they can get
the applause.
Well, you can get those
I do
big
it for
dollars.
the applause. No.
Yeah, but it's a huge advantage now for the guys in NXT that when you were there and when a lot of guys, talking to Brian Kendrick the other day about when he was in Memphis, I think in the developmental, just how different it is now. They were on a little local TV. Now these guys have international distribution.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think the NXT is shown in another country
It's like
or
60
other countries.
It's like 60
on
countries.
TV.
Yeah, on television.
Right?
It's not in America.
Which is great.
Yeah, it's in, like
They show it in Canada on TV, I believe, and then
England
several
and
other. Yeah.
it's like 60 plus countries.
No, it's great. It's what it has become, the kind of investment that Triple H made into this. It's great
it's
to be part of NXT. The developmental, I mean, the facility that they have, the kind of training that you can get, the kind of help that you have access to now. It's amazing.
And it's about time, you know. I mean, they don't have the territory systems to develop guys anymore, and they really need that top level way of really developing guys and to attract top athletes. I know, you know, if you're trying to get NFL caliber athletes and you're bringing them to some little broken down warehouse, you know, with a wrestling ring in it and a couple lockers in the corner, it's not. It's not going to draw that type of. It's not going to draw that type of athlete.
I agree. The presentation is definitely a lot more professional, but
the
you
performance
still
center and everything.
Right, but you still can't quite replace the you know, the territory system how it was before. You cannot. That's priceless. The experience that guys would get going from territory to territory, wrestling different guys, different styles.
I so wish those days were today.
Irreplaceable. So it makes it a little bit more difficult for the guys that are in developmental to separate themselves and stand out, because they're wrestling the same guys and they're learning from the same team of people. So there is pros and cons of it, you know. But what can you do? That's just the way it is.
It's the way it is today. So, anyways, we started the show off with a tag team match. We had a couple title matches tonight, which was really awesome. Plus the women's champion in action as well. We started off with the Ascension taking on Adrian Neville and Corey Graves, the former champions, getting their rematch. Kind of short little match.
Yeah. I love the ending, like after the Ascension won.
Yeah. You know, there wasn't a whole lot to it. It was they got a little Neville and Graves got a little bit of offense in the beginning, but then they take it to Neville. Neville gets beat down and injures his knee.
I think it was already.
It was already injured, but he re-aggravated it during this match. And then when Graves gets a hot tag, comes in, House of Fire just blows everyone away, locks in his submission hold, and Victor breaks it up. And he takes one shot and he immediately scurries right over to his beat up injured partner.
Exactly. He was just getting beat up. He hurt his knee.
The entirety of the match almost.
Corey Graves does this great comeback, puts it in submission. Victor breaks it, and that was enough for him to want to tag out.
Yeah, because
it's kind of weird.
And he had injured ribs, I guess, as well. But one shot to those ribs.
It wasn't vicious enough.
No,
it should have been like more vicious.
Yeah.
So that it was easier to understand. But that wasn't. That was a little weird.
And that was the first thing I saw. I was like, oh, I'd be mad if I was Neville on this. So
yeah.
They did a good job at calling it out on commentary, though,
yes,
like giving you the rundown of what was going on.
Yes, with the injuries and absolutely. And so afterwards, or the Ascension get there, use that finisher again, that sweeping leg.
You hate it.
I don't hate it. I just I want to see a different version of it. I've said this a million times, but I just don't like O'Brien doing a leg sweep. He's such a big guy. I think it's a waste. He should be doing something more powerful with that finisher. Anyways, though, they win with that finish, and Corey Graves turns on Adrian Neville, says this is basically all his fault.
I am very glad that this happened, because I like both of these guys. I like Neville. I like Graves. I don't like them together. I think that Graves is a much better heel, and he had a lot more personality when he was solo. And I mean, Neville, he's got this whole thing where he's like the fastest guy.
Right.
And I feel like that was kind of lost as well.
Yeah, I don't think these guys ever got on the same page. You know, I mean, they did win the championships, but they were never a team to me. I mean, we talked about it the last time. There was only a couple tags. These guys don't tag in and out very often.
They don't really match.
No, they don't. They don't work together. And so I understand this. I think there's frustration probably on both their parts.
But I mean, why is Corey Graves pissed at Neville? I mean, he's the one that's being kind of cowardly. He's really making the mistakes.
You're right, and he should be angry at himself.
Oh, and there was a.
But you can't. But people don't blame themselves. It's always not me. You know, it's always the other guy. So
there was something that happened when there was like a weird Neville almost made a tag. Neville
Yes,
almost made a tag towards the end, and I think it was Victor who knocked him into Corey
knocked him
Graves.
into Corey Graves.
Now tell me, there was contact. Does that make it a tag?
No, I don't think that would be.
Why would that not be a tag? Even the commentator mentioned something about it. He said, "Who's the legal man?" Because
do you have to physically take your hand and tag them? Like, I think you actually have to tag with a hand. You can tag any. I would think you have to. You're the tag team champion in Japan. Shouldn't you know the answer to this?
Oopsie! I shouldn't have brought this up.
You're the one who gets flown all over the world to defend your tag titles.
Yeah, I was.
Ask a question.
Yeah,
just like.
Okay.
I honestly know.
You, of course, know the answer.
I've been a long time champion. I was just testing you.
And next week you'll let us know the answer, right?
Yes, next week.
So guys, if you want to leave your answer in the comments on YouTube, then please feel free. And then
yes.
But really, to be honest with you, myself and Rocky Romero, we've stayed champions because we cheat. That's just a fact of life. We cheat. I don't really follow the rules.
No.
Crap, I don't even know the rules. I don't, I do how I do, and I stay champ that way. But I'm not a champion anymore.
Kind of a jerk.
Oh, did you guys lose your titles this week? You lost your titles this weekend?
They cheated.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
Takumi Shinoku and Taichi.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They out-cheated you.
They out-cheated us.
Actually, my condolences.
Thanks. It was my partner.
He got
sorry.
Did you beat him up after?
I wanted to. I swear. I wanted to do the same thing Corey Graves did to.
See, then it's not so weird that Corey Graves.
But you restrained yourself.
I had the control, the willpower to. All right, take it easy. Okay. We'll have another fighting day.
Yeah. Obviously, Corey Graves did not. So I'm interested. I like this though. I'm glad these guys are, like you said. I'm glad they're not a team anymore, and I think this is going to be an interesting match. And I like Corey Graves being a heel here.
There were a couple times where it seemed like they edited tonight because the commentary was off from what was actually going on. Like I felt like they were saying things and then they would happen 5 seconds later, like when they mentioned Graves stay down, and then 5 seconds later he did stay down.
Oh yeah.
And then there were a couple things later in the night that occurred as well.
What's the name of the announcer, the male announcer?
Yeah, I wanted to know the name of it.
Because that boy, he needs
Tony
to
Dawson?
learn. It wasn't Tony Dawson. Tony Dawson's no longer with them.
No, I think that was him. And then
was it? I thought it was somebody else.
I thought it was Tony Dawson tonight, and then they ended his contract after the series.
I could be wrong.
What do you think of him? You said.
I was gonna say he needs to learn his moves because he was using the wrong names for a lot of stuff today.
Yeah, work in progress for him.
Honestly, commentary was very uncomfortable tonight because I just felt the tension between whether it was Tony Dawson or someone else. Him and William Regal, there was a lot of back and forth between them that almost made their banter more important than the matches that were going on. And
I thought Renee did a good job.
Renee did a great job, but there was just something off.
Yeah, I think Regal called that dude stupid, like he was asking him something, and
he did
Regal
it several times. And I understand
ask a lot of stupid questions or something.
I understand that Regal is supposed to be the heel commentator, but it was it was almost too much.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his.
Maybe he just doesn't. I mean, sometimes it happens. If a wrestler gets a former wrestler, whatever, gets on the commentating booth, and some dude starts saying stuff that he doesn't know about, starts saying the wrong stuff, a wrestler would get annoyed by that. So it's possible that he was legit annoyed by him. It happens.
Maybe that's why he.
Let me ask you this: what do you think of Adrian Neville? We know he's a great wrestler. He's a great high flyer. What do you think of him as a personality, character-wise? Do you think he's got it? Because I haven't seen character just yet.
I haven't seen it either. Yeah. I don't know who he is as a person, but I've stopped saying people are boring and they don't have it because I used to watch this guy named Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson that used to bore the tears out of me in the indies. Great wrestler, but just, used to bore me. And now he's one of the most entertaining guys out there.
Yeah.
So it can happen. You can tap into that sometimes. So
absolutely.
But they haven't tapped into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Adrian Neville is gonna possibly have a struggle with that aspect of pro wrestling entertainment, is finding that character.
Right.
Because just moves. I mean, he does some spectacular stuff that'll keep his momentum going.
Yeah.
But what would be wise if he can find it, tap into some kind of entertaining character that people can relate to, it'll help him a lot.
Right.
So he doesn't have to kill himself every time.
I think he'd be still. I mean, I don't like this team he was in with Graves, but I think he'd be a good tag team guy still. He needs the right partner, but this was not it. Yeah. I mean, maybe they'd be too small, but him and Evan Bourne almost would be a cool team.
That would be cool, like high flyer,
a high flying team.
Together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I was just wondering. I mean, he's obviously the total package in the ring, but he's not quite the total package in all of entertainment.
And we don't know that he doesn't have a personality. I feel like it just hasn't developed yet.
Right.
Maybe, that they haven't given him the opportunity to get on the mic that much, or
they just haven't figured out how to pull it out of him. Because sometimes it's figuring out how to pull that out of somebody.
Right.
Like, how do we get that?
And if they haven't given him any mic time or give him the opportunity to show off his character, it's probably because he doesn't have any just yet.
Because I mean, also I'm sure there are guys in the back who have like the greatest personalities in the world. You'd be like, oh, this guy'd be money, and then he gets on the mic like, hello. You got to figure out how to get that personality sometimes out of them.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
So hopefully they can, because
it's really on him though.
That finisher is great. It is on him.
They're not. They can only help and guide a person, but the person has to reach deep inside by himself. He has to take it there.
It's not always the vehicle. It's the guy the guy driving the car a lot of the time. So that gets you there. Anyways, next match, we moved on to Tyler Breeze, CJ Parker, another rematch from a few weeks back.
We've had this match several times, and it's still not getting old for me, and I don't understand why, because...
This is the second one-on-one, right? They've had some tag. I think they had some tags or something,
but then,
that big tag in there. And
they were at Access. We saw them at Access.
Okay, that's right.
All these things. I mean, this feud has been going on for a couple months now, and I feel like it's still got momentum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun. I like they're both funny. It's like it's been going on for a while, but it hasn't been a lot of stuff going on still. Like they've been slowly building it well, where it's not the same thing. It's a little bit here and then a little bit and a little bit more and.
I mean, I think it hasn't gotten old because to me, both guys are entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess at the end of the day, that would be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what was up with the entrance of Tyler Breeze? I would change a bit. The camera work was a little weird. I mean, when he first came out, the camera was like just on his feet.
Yeah. Yes.
I thought the cameraman just fell asleep or something.
No, they do that all the time.
But
because he's a model, so they just show his feet walking back and forth.
When in modeling do you see just feet?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, is that
a thing?
On the runway,
just legs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Haven't you ever seen like commercials of modeling for shoes
the
or
catwalk.
But I could barely see anything though. I could barely see anything.
It's the lighting.
His beautiful face.
Yeah, I wanted
He's
to.
He's not an uggo.
Yeah. That. But yeah, it was just all feet, and I couldn't. I wanted to see him do the walk, going back and forth. I think I'd rather see him do the walk back and forth, but not just feet. The feet, I couldn't see much. For me, it was whatever.
Well, then you got to go to the show, and you don't have to just watch at the feet. You can see him actually walk back and forth if you're in live.
I'll fly to Florida.
You have to pay to not just see feet.
Yeah. So maybe that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I can't see this. I'm gonna fly myself to Florida. I'm gonna see this guy live.
Just like back in the day, if you wanted to see the great wrestlers, you actually had to pay. You didn't get to see them on TV. You just watched the guys beat up jobbers. But if you wanted to see Hulk Hogan, you had to pay. If you want to see Tyler Breeze, not just
full body,
feet, you got to pay.
Yeah, I get it.
So, anyways, Tyler Breeze to me is like as we call him, the chicken crap heel. He's like that perfect, just little chicken that.
Tonight, though, I couldn't tell who was the heel and who was the face. I know that Tyler Breeze is the heel in this situation, but on commentary, they were almost putting Tyler over.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, well, Renee likes him, and Renee's a sweetheart, so he must be a good guy. And that was like...
a little bit weird.
Yeah, like... the crowd loves Tyler Breeze.
And I think that's what it is. He's a heel that's so popular right now.
He's so entertaining. It's such an entertaining thing to get into. The fans definitely love him. What's up with did the fans chant at one point, Breeze is gorgeous?
Yeah, they were chanting
awesome.
all the time. And it's so funny. CJ goes for a palm strike, and he just immediately cowers
because it's his face.
Down
the money shot right there.
I mean, CJ really had the majority of the offense in this until the end, really, when Breeze grabs the apron. Yeah. And Breeze grabs the apron to kind of pull. The referee goes to put it back, and he pokes the eye, hits his. Is that a leg lariat? Is that like a spinning
heel kick?
Spinning heel kick.
He grabbed the curtain of the apron, because what's the other dude's name? CJ Parker. He was trying to pull him out, and he was just holding on for dear life. And
sneaky move.
The ref had to fix the curtain, and he took advantage, poked CJ Parker in the face, and spinning heel kick. What?
I
loved it. It was comical and entertaining to watch.
Oh, I'm gonna steal that. I mean, grab the ring apron.
Yeah,
that's a great way to distract the referee.
Absolutely. William Regal was all over that.
Yeah.
He'd do stuff like that. Fit Finlay would always use the apron, the curtain of the apron.
Right.
I love the he tried to take us. Does this always happen where he does a selfie and the cell phone is on the Titantron?
Yes, the Titantron has he and he has taken selfies with fallen opponents before, right? He's done that, right? Yeah. But this time he actually kind of picked him up a little bit.
During his ending Yeah.
It's pretty cool to have the cell phone on the Titantron.
But CJ fought back and wouldn't get the photo bomb.
What was that slap to the face thing?
Yeah, then he gave him his that palm strike to the face.
Bit bloodied.
I was gonna say that. I don't know where that was
happen?
from.
And that was kind of awkward when he was walking around doing selfies with fans, and he wiped his nose, which had blood on it, and then put that hand around
exactly.
Yeah, I saw that.
He did that twice.
I was like, why didn't? He did that like 4 times. I was like, CJ.
That was a little disgusting.
Yeah.
He wasn't thinking.
While the fans would love to have pictures with you,
I'm always.
They didn't say no. They didn't seem to mind.
I'm always self-conscious after a match. Like, I'm so sweaty. I don't think people want to touch me.
He did
last thing I'm gonna do is, hey,
he wiped it off his nose, looks at it, and then puts that hand over the fan. I was like, what's up with you, man? You're really sharing today, huh? Anyway, that was cool. Little match.
Yeah, it's good. Next we had the Divas. Yeah,
lovely.
this is Alex's favorite part. And actually, I mean,
sometimes
four great divas. That's the best part about NXT. One of the great things at NXT is we're always getting the girls are always good, and
they get time.
And just from last week, that Santana girl is not signed. I've got that on authority, so I confirmed that.
Man,
you're wrong.
It's not signed yet, but I hear So, anyways, we have Paige and Emma versus Summer and Sasha, and Sasha to me is getting I'm liking her more and more every week. Like this
into her.
Sasha, I'm liking her more and more every week. Like this girl, she could make something of herself.
Oh, absolutely, man. They got to put her and Emma, her and Paige. They could be on the roster already. They could enrich the women's division.
Yeah, Emma as well.
Do you remember that match, that spectacular match that they put on? The both of them, Paige and Sasha Banks.
Yes,
you remember?
Yeah. Oh,
I still can't forget about it. I mean, it was such an amazing women's match.
All 4
it's a
of
WrestleMania
them are
match.
Amazing, but Sasha, we know she has more in her. Like with those a couple weeks back when the promos were leaked from practice. You saw Sasha Banks' personality, and it was this huge, over-the-top, female empowerment boss lady, and we keep on hearing Summer refer to it as that, but we haven't seen it yet. And I'm just wondering when that's going to happen, because
I'm sure we will.
She has this fire in her, and she's great.
I'm sure we'll see it. I'm sure we will.
In due
time. I think Summer, she's still green in the ring. I mean, she's obviously dedicated, putting in the work, getting better. She just needs a little more time, continue to wrestle.
Yeah,
she's still a little green.
Of these 4 girls, she was the one that I would think is the model that's being trained to wrestle, and the other 3 girls are actually wrestlers.
But still,
that's not a slam on Summer at all. Yeah, because I think she does great.
She's decent. Yeah, she's decent. And when she screams, it's a little annoying. She's got this annoying
that's what makes her a heel.
And she's got a great character. I like her character. That was real.
Character's great.
Yeah, I think her character's great. So I actually think Summer's got something. I think she can. And you have when we get the division in a few years and these girls start to make it up, you've got all these great wrestlers, and Summer's a great character, and she can hang in there, so she doesn't have to be the greatest.
Definitely not knocking her.
Yeah.
I love the eyeliner and whatever Paige did today. She had like nice dark eyeliner around her eyes. It looks really good on her.
Paige started this match with like ruthless aggression, man. She just I love that.
I love when she screams.
I love that too.
Yeah. It's pretty hot.
It is hot. It turns on my buttons. It is hot.
You know what I would love to see in the near future is Summer with the women's title and then bringing it up to Raw. And because she's doing both, she's still, even though she's like Fandango's valet.
Yeah, I think they're gonna probably try to keep the titles separated.
I know, but that's an amazing way to promote NXT.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't have two women's titles on Raw.
And the fact is, I think they would wait to do that.
No, I don't want them to wrestle for the title on Raw. I want her to bring it with her when she's walking to the ring with Fandango.
I don't think you'll see that until NXT has television distribution, because they're on the internet right now. So I think you're gonna have to wait to that.
It does in every country except the U.S.
There's contracts. So I mean, my guess is we won't see. I mean, I haven't heard, but my guess is we won't see it on TV until at least 2014, if not 2015. I don't know how long the contracts with Hulu are. They've exclusive with Hulu.
2014 is only a couple months away.
So that's not that bad. So we may have to wait a bit longer.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, I think it would be pretty cool. Like, let's say when Seth Rollins started on TV, or let's say when Biggie Langston started on TV. If like he came out and had the NXT title on him, it's pretty interesting. You get curious, what's this from? Oh, and you start checking the stuff out on the internet, even though it doesn't have to be. Still, it's pretty cool. Yeah, and then gives you a chance to check out some of the talent in NXT. No, it's not a bad idea.
I think it's a good idea. But like I said, just knowing the way they work and stuff, my guess is they would hold something like that until they had TV, and then they would use that to push their new television show.
Honestly, I don't think that they need to bring NXT to TV though, because everything is moving towards the internet. I know that they're trying to, but
no, it's good.
But there's a little something
TV
called money and revenue, and they will make so much money with advertising on television.
Wait,
that's where it is.
Money? There's money.
But at least right now. So. Anyway, so we've got this Emma gets isolated for a while and beaten down until she makes a tag to Paige, who comes back on fire and hits us 10 knees on the ropes, which I like that a lot. She's just so aggressive with all her offense. She's unlike any other, unlike any other diva we've ever seen, which obviously is why she calls herself the anti-diva.
I mean, she's been training for it her entire life.
Yeah,
that helps.
She's been training since she was 13 or 14, I think. Summer eventually actually catches Paige with her finisher. I just wrote leg finisher. I don't know the name of this move that Summer had. I think the Big Show used to use it, where she drops the leg. It's like a standing leg drop.
It's like a leg drop. Yeah, it's like a standing leg drop. Yeah. I guess you can say.
Yeah,
so it was all right.
So Summer gets a win over the women's champion.
Yeah.
That is a big pin. So we got to imagine title shot in her future.
I kind of thought that this was going to happen, and I thought that because last week I felt like they were kind of setting Emma and Paige up to lose since they were fighting backstage.
Gotcha.
It happened.
Yeah, I'd love to see Paige on. I wouldn't mind seeing her on the roster already.
Yeah, I agree.
She's beautiful. She's different, but she's really young, and maybe she'd have problems renting cars and being on the road.
I've been told that you're not allowed to travel until you're 21 with the WWE.
Or 25, maybe.
But JoJo's 19, so they're.
But that's because she's on Total Diva. She's promoting the show, not.
Right. You mean that?
She's not
so
a
that's an
traveling
internal
wrestler.
decision, right? Yeah.
That's the rumor that I heard, at least.
Right. So yeah, who knows? But I would think Paige would hopefully be coming up soon.
Yeah, I'd love to see her up there.
Yeah, they brought a lot of people up this year. It's one of the things with NXT is there's so much talent that needs to come up. They're ready. But there's not spots.
There's not enough room.
There's not enough room.
Even though we got an extra hour on Raw, now it's 3 hours. It creates for more time.
And main event, and we've got
right.
6 hours of network programming every week.
Let me ask you this. So we know Paige and Sasha Banks are definitely ready. Wrestling-wise, they're ready. They got characters. Who, in your opinion, would you replace on the roster, what divas would you
girls?
get rid of to put these two up there if you had to?
Who can
make space? What divas would you get rid of?
I would cut Rosa Mendez right now, probably.
One.
I don't dislike Rosa Mendez at all, but
I don't dislike any of them. They're all beautiful.
What's she doing?
Yeah.
People are gonna kill me for this. I'd get rid of Caitlyn.
Okay. How about you, Cathy? What do you think?
Yeah.
So it's a mean question. It's
It is a mean question.
I think.
Can I like cut some guys to make room for?
Not for the girls.
No,
How
to make room
about
for other
just
guys.
name one girl?
We're talking about
I know.
bringing the girls up, not the guys. We'll go to the guys next. The
Yeah.
guys is easy.
I know.
There's way more guys.
I think that Sasha Banks and Emma and Paige are all better than certain girls.
Like,
on that roster,
who would
but I
you,
don't
if you were the
wanna
booker, who would you get rid of?
Yeah.
Or
There's a difference between being better than girls that aren't good enough that should be then cut.
It's okay for Clum to say that he wants to cut people, but if I say it, then everyone hates me.
It's okay. People already hate me.
They
So
call me like, bad words, but because then it's girl on girl crime.
okay. All right. Kathy is abstaining.
Yeah, sorry.
that's funny, but no, I agree with you. If I was the booker,
Ask me off air.
if I was the booker, I'd who'd
Yeah,
you
who
say?
would you get rid of? I said
Rosa?
Rosa. Just because she's not really being used and she doesn't really wrestle.
I feel bad. Like there's a couple that I would get rid of. Rosa could be one. But look, I would definitely wish her success in
Absolutely.
her future endeavors.
Absolutely.
But her, and honestly, she's kind of like from around where I'm from in a way, close. Oksana, she's
I hear they're very high on her. I hear people are very. I just
From
read this
whom?
from the top right now. The top.
Where are you getting this information?
Dirt sheets, but they're saying right now that a lot of people are looking very high, and I'm very high on Oksana.
All right,
as
check
well.
this out. Check this out. Okay, look, that could be the case, or it could not be the case.
Right.
It's
I see a
easily-
lot of potential personally in her.
And
but.
no, it's fine. I don't. She's not all that sharp in the ring. She's a wonderful, sexy, beautiful lady.
Do you think
but
she's not gotten a lot better though in the last year?
She may have gotten better, but
She's not there.
Her character is not really. Nobody really cares, and she's not all that great in the ring. But she's beautiful. I'd put her in a managerial role of some sort, maybe.
But not as a wrestler.
I'd use her in another
Okay.
way.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I gotcha.
there's another. I can't remember her name. Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, anything more on the girls?
Oh yeah, you were gonna say which girl you.
No, she's not.
If you can mention one.
She thinks they're all wonderful
Sister
and no one should be
Abigail.
cut. Yeah. You don't want to cut Sister Abigail? So that brings us on to our main event of the evening, which we've been waiting for weeks for this, if not months, for Sami Zayn finally to get his shot at the NXT Championship and Bo Dallas.
Did you know that Sami Zayn speaks Arabic?
Yes, he speaks a bunch of different languages.
And he was on the Abu Dhabi tour.
Yes.
What?
Yes, he was. Yeah, he speaks a bunch of languages. That's supposedly one of the reasons they signed him, is because he's
And because he's a phenomenal wrestler.
Well,
that would be like.
I mean, obviously that's the part too, but I guess one of the big benefits is he speaks something like 5 languages or something. I've heard.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he speaks a bunch of different
Stop being
languages.
so good.
So,
Please.
so we got Bo and Sammy. We got some hold to hold a little bit. In the
How about
beginning of this.
Byron Saxton announcing them? Does he do that for title matches?
He's the yeah, he announces title
That dude is very
matches.
talented.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
have you seen him wrestle? Have you seen him wrestle?
I haven't watched him wrestle, and I think he's on creative now.
He
too,
works
or
in the back.
something.
Yeah, he
he's-
works as a producer.
He's no longer wrestling.
I know he's not wrestling, but I didn't know that he was part of creative. I
Yeah.
thought he was on the commentating booth. And
I think
He
he's
did that for a while.
And I believe he's on NXT Creative now.
Oh, good for him.
I believe. Don't hold
Okay.
me
No,
to
he
that,
is.
but I
He's a
think he is.
producer
Right?
on
no, hey,
NXT
listen. If you're getting your information from Wikipedia, I can't
Wikipedia, the
contest
dirt
that.
sheets, you never know.
Smiley.
No, but he's very talented. He's very talented. He's very talented.
Right.
Anyway.
Anyways, what you guys think about this match? I thought it was a good match.
It was great. It was everything that I expected. The energy in the studio was phenomenal. Everybody was just so excited to see the match, and we know Sami Zayn, I think, is better than Bo Dallas, and early on in the match, fairly quickly, they started off the match right away with
some great
Sami.
We don't get to see some actual wrestling.
Yeah, a little bit
on.
wrestling, and then Sami was going for the pins, a combination of pins, back to back right away.
Three in a row.
Now I know Sami Zayn. He's obviously experienced. He knows that he's not going to pin Bo without having done much damage to him. It was kind
psychological.
Exactly. It was a strategy to get in his head and throw him off his game a little bit, and as you saw, he got frustrated.
It worked.
He got frustrated, and then he went for the kick. He went for his finishing maneuver in the very beginning, and he pinned him. Yeah. Except his leg was on the rope.
Right. He gets the 1, 2, 3. He jumps up. They hand him the belt or the title championship. Yeah. Place goes crazy. Sami Zayn is the new NXT champion.
I was so excited.
Were you so
Did you think that was it?
No. Okay. I was excited. I was like, something's wrong. It was way too short.
There's 10 minutes left in the show.
What is going on?
We still have a commercial break to go through.
And finally, we get to see the general manager.
And then our general manager, JBL, comes out. His music plays for like 2 seconds. Just turn off my music when I come out here. We're not going to start, my reign like this. And he restarts the matches. Referee, don't make me learn your name.
The JBL era.
The JBL era.
That was really funny. Ref, don't make me learn your name.
I thought that was funny as well.
Such a bully.
So he starts, we get the match restarted. And Bo immediately jumps Sami from behind as Sami is paying attention to JBL and gets the advantage right off. We go to break and we come back and Sami's working the cravat. He was working the cravat
modified version of the cravat,
modified version of the cravat earlier on, and then went back to it once the match is restarted.
My favorite line on commentary the entire night. An unintentionally funny quote from William Regal. This is where it gets really slippery. The competitors are perspiring.
Perspirating?
Perspiring.
Perspirating?
Perspiring.
Wait, as maybe it's me.
It's you.
I don't know. Perspirate. It's not perspirating.
No.
I mean, that's another word too.
Oh, really?
Perspiring and perspirating. Yeah.
What's perspirating?
They're synonyms. They're synonymous.
Oh,
perspiration.
Wow. It's confusing.
Yeah.
Perspiration. Yeah, that's where I'm getting at. Okay.
So, anyways, these guys start going. They start going back and forth with some pretty big moves.
Yeah.
Sami hits that kind of like diving senton dive out onto the floor.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Hits his. I forget what Regal kept calling it, but I think he called it Blue Thunder. It's like the belly to back power bomb.
Yeah, that was such a cool move, huh?
Cool move. I forget what Regal was calling it. The announcer called it a suplex. It is not a suplex. And high cross body from the top. A lot of really, really great moves. Sami goes for a series of German suplexes. And on the third one, I believe it was, Bo ducks under the turnbuckle, hits Sami off the exposed turnbuckle, which we're also, where's this exposed turnbuckle come from?
Oh, right, it was exposed.
It was exposed.
Where did that come from?
I went back to watch where this happened.
And?
This happened before the actual fall where Sami won, where we thought he won the title. They put him in the ropes, and it looked like it was loose, and it just fell off.
Oh, because of the perspiration.
Yeah, but
the perspiration.
It just fell off. The announcers never mention it. And I was like, this was an important thing for the finish of the match.
That's the finish of the match.
The turnbuckle just kind of fell off. We didn't even know it was exposed.
Well, I mean,
if you go back,
and watch it.
That's what I said. It was exposed the whole time.
William Regal even said, "I don't even know when that fell off. Yeah. When did that happen?" But that just is a testament to what was going on in the match, that no one really noticed it, even on commentary, because the match was so good.
But it was so important. It should have been brought up. It needed to have been brought up.
They can't. The commentators can't just mention for no apparent reason. Oh, the turnbuckle's off. But the fix to that is Bo should have tried to use that side of the ring to bash Zayn's head in, and the commentators can say, well, Bo was trying to use the exposed turnbuckle to get the advantage. So now we know that there is an exposed corner. Mm-hmm. So later they, you know what I mean?
Right.
For them to have a reason to say something about it. So yeah, I agree. It was unnoticed, and I didn't even think about it. But at the same time, I also thought it was somewhat a little bit. The execution of it was a tad weak. He didn't hit it quite perfectly, but I'm not knocking it. It was still
things happen in the ring.
It was a phenomenal match, regardless.
So Bo rolls him up, gets the 1, 2, 3.
It was a great match, and I thought the story of the match was exactly that. Like we know that Sami Zayn is better than Bo Dallas.
Yep.
He pinned him, so we know that he can beat him if only he was a little further away from the corner. But Bo Dallas is the NXT champion. He's not NXT champion for nothing. Well. He's a great champion. His ways are he's a very good dirty player. Right. You can call him a ring general. He knows how to use the ring to his advantage. Yeah. And the question was whether Sami Zayn can avoid all the tricks that Bo Dallas has up his sleeve. And
I'm liking Bo more and more in this spot.
Oh my gosh. We talked about it on Raw on Monday on the after show. I hated Bo passionately, and now I think that his character is so much better.
Right.
It's main roster material, because the last time when they did try to bring him up to the main roster,
he was milquetoast.
I don't even know if they were serious behind that. I mean, how could they straight up put him in the? I mean, did they actually think that was going to work?
He was doing well on NXT at the time. I think that they wanted to bring him up. They knew that it was going to happen eventually, but where his character was at that time, it wasn't.
No. There was no substance to his character then. It wasn't like ready for him to be on mainstream TV with that character.
No,
it's just there's no substance.
They tried something that didn't work, and they sent him back. And now they've got this character that's working. And I think heel champions like this are great, because I remember as a kid, I would almost want to watch the heel champions lose their title than watch my favorites win. I remember when Demolition held the tag titles, I would want to watch every show because I hated Demolition, and I hated what they did, to Strikeforce, and wanted to watch his team lose, and they held the title for a year, and it just starts to drive you crazy that these guys have the title for so long. It makes you want to watch it because you want to be there when this person loses it.
So I wanted to know, this is something that, since I went back to watch the turnbuckle thing again, and I noticed the first time around this didn't bug me, but the second time around, there were so many replays at the end of the match. They were just one after the other, after the other, after the other. And I was like, do we really need this? It just seemed very edited, and I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was a great match.
I would say maybe they were just trying to kill time, but the fact is, with these Hulu shows, they don't have a set time. They're sometimes 45 minutes. They're sometimes 55 minutes. So they're not cutting these to any specific time.
I want to see how Bo develops, and I want to see him turn into a face and see how that looks after being a heel, like he
after getting a little bit of the edge. On the heel.
I think he needs to be.
That's how it usually works.
Before he goes on the main roster, I want to see him look a little bit more well-rounded. Not just heel. I want him to also be able to pull out a baby face that people care about, not just what he was doing before. So I'd like to see that, and maybe it's a waiting game. That's what I like to see.
I don't want him to change anything because I really didn't like him before as a face.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to learn to be a babyface that people care about eventually.
Yeah.
He can't just be a heel all his career.
And a lot of times to get that good babyface role, you need to be a heel, because you'll see guys will be.
It'll help. It can help.
Milquetoast, boring babyface. They become an interesting heel, and then you can use that character that you developed as a heel to have that little bit of edge when you turn into a babyface. You're not just the boring milquetoast babyface. Right. Look at Goldust for Essential right now. Goldust is a babyface, but we know his history, so when he cheats a little bit, it's got character in it. He's got a little bit of that edge to him still, even though he's a babyface. Yeah. When you met Dustin Rhodes, when he first started as a babyface, he was the American Dream son, milquetoast, boring.
Milquetoast?
Milquetoast, yeah.
Milquetoast.
Vanilla.
Milquetoast, vanilla. Yeah.
Nutella?
White.
Nutella?
No.
Yeah, just
Nutella's got some.
Yeah. No pizzazz.
Yeah.
I love Nutella.
I love vanilla, so.
Nutella crepes.
Yeah. Anyways,
how do you say crepes?
Do you guys have an MVP of the show?
A lot of people.
How about one?
A lot, but one. Most valuable. You can only have one.
Okay, one.
And the rest have to be fired.
I want to say Sami Zayn though, but I feel like I pick that every single week.
You can go with that. I mean, you can you can go with Sami. That means he's just the MVP of the show overall.
I'll go with Bo. I thought Bo looked really good. Intense. So I'll have to pick him. Obviously, Sami Zayn was really good. Those guys have great chemistry, don't they?
I think they do,
They make each other look so good. They complement each other. That's a great pairing.
I like the pairing as well, and I agree with you. I'm going to go with Bo Dallas as well this week.
They have great pairing, but Sami Zayn with anyone has proven to be.
That's very true. Best match I've ever seen Jack Swagger do was with Sami Zayn.
I mean,
that was a good match.
It's honestly when he had his match against Cesaro, like all these people that he keeps on wrestling, he
makes him look good.
Yeah.
He's very good at making people look good, and he has this natural charisma about him, and people love him. But he also has a following. He's been on the independent level for so long.
For a long time.
He's had a lot of opportunity to develop these things that a lot of the guys are just now developing a year or two into it.
Right.
So I understand that.
And he's got, he has the advantage of having traveled the world before some of these guys that are being hired, straight from NFL or whatever.
He's worked crowds all over the world.
Yeah, he's worked crowds all over the world. He understands many different styles. He understands how to work it, and he's had the opportunity to work in front of different crowds and knowing how to manipulate. And so he's.
And I mean, of course, he probably learned everything from Wrestling U. And PWG all those years.
Of course, I used to beat him up. But let me tell you something. So okay, let's. Do we have time? How much time we got?
We've just got a minute. We got a couple minutes, so go ahead.
Okay, real quickly. So we all can agree that Sami Zayn is probably ready. He's obviously ready. So let's pick Sami Zayn as the guy who's ready to go on the main roster. What wrestler on the main roster would you get rid of to put Sami Zayn in?
Oh, there's a couple.
There's many, but choose one.
Choose one.
I guess your top worst.
JTG. We haven't seen him. He has not. I haven't seen him on anything. Maybe he does a Superstars match here.
That's right. We have not seen him, but he's not horrible. He works hard, and he actually got some catchphrases people get into. They haven't given him the opportunity.
No, that's true. But
he may be on the road too. I mean, I know.
I mean, he is on the road. I saw.
We just don't see him on TV.
He was backstage at SummerSlam.
Okay.
He's definitely. Yeah. I think he's probably done some Superstar stuff. Yeah, he just isn't used.
I know they don't use him.
I'm not saying he's necessarily bad.
I think they could do something with him.
He's not being used. So
I think they could do something with him.
But let him go. Let him go to the Indies, and then he can come back. He hasn't been. He's been sitting there for years. He hasn't been used the last 2 years.
It's not his fault at all.
You asked me who to get rid of. He's not being used. He's been there for 8 years or so.
Okay.
Kelley.
So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I like Kelley.
I like him.
He's cute.
In a character kind of way. But he's gonna have to retire at some point. It's pointless to see 2-minute matches with him.
Here's the thing about Khali: huge numbers in India.
I get that.
There's lots of money in Khali. So there's money in Khali internationally in India. There is.
I enjoy watching him.
He's a movie star,
and he's a model too.
Is he? But he is a movie star. He's a big movie star.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
You have no
he's
idea.
a Zoolander in India.
Arrested Development.
Man, if I could, I didn't prepare. I mean, there's obviously quite a few guys.
There's a bunch of guys. I mean, you could. I mean, here's a couple. Kurt Hawkins.
I wouldn't let him go. I would give him a shot.
No, I'm kidding.
Kurt Hawkins, I think, is talented, and I would use him instead of getting rid of him.
But we're talking about guys who've been on the roster 8 years and aren't being used, and so it's
I
time
wouldn't
to bring some of the fresh guys in instead of just having those 20 guys that don't get used.
Can you name a few other guys that are being used? They're so-so.
That are being used. Yeah. I mean, do you want to throw any as a 3M? I mean, I love 3MB. I wouldn't want to cut any of them.
Okay. Let's talk about 3MB. Who's the?
You got
Gender lost steam. I would. I could. He's a great guy.
I mean, yeah,
but
you
I would
cut him. You're not going to lose anything.
Their gimmick is over. They're not over.
Yeah. I mean. Him, I'll tell you, Kurt Hawkins doesn't make the company any money right now. GT, I would cut guys that aren't currently making money for the company.
I would use those guys,
whether they're good or not.
Do not cut him.
Oh no, we're who's this?
Joseph Bosa in chat roll. He said Evan Bourne or Kurt Hawkins.
Joseph Bosa.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we're cutting Evan Bourne.
No. No.
We're cutting him.
You could make an argument.
kidding.
You could make an argument
About what?
cutting Evan Bourne.
They should use him.
He's been out forever. He had two. He failed two drug.
What are you talking about? He failed two drug policies.
He's
Are you sure?
Yeah, within months of each other, and then he got hurt.
Failed them?
Yeah,
two drug policies.
He had a 30-day suspension. Then a couple months later, he got a 90-day.
It wasn't an injury.
Then he got
said?
a 90-day suspension, and then he got injured right after that.
All right.
So two drug suspensions and a long injury.
He's pushing it with the violations. Sometimes you get injured in this business.
Swagger.
No.
I'm not big on him so much, to be honest with you. But
he's got a gimmick that's selling
wrestler.
T-shirts right now.
I wouldn't definitely not get rid of Evan Bourne. He's exciting as hell to watch. I mean, he's pushing it with the
I'm
violation.
surprised that they haven't used him since he's been cleared.
Is he clear?
But I'll tell you,
he's cleared. I don't
maybe
even
they're
understand
looking
why they
for
don't
a
bring
space.
him to NXT. Even he'd be happy to.
if I'm looking through a corporate eye and a person that's sitting in an office and doesn't know everything, Evan Bourne is a guy that I'm looking at.
But
not
hold on
from
a second.
Wrestling fan, maybe
In the
not.
office?
But from an office person that's going, I just failed this two guys.
In the office, they have
one
way
more
too many emotions. They don't care about whether you've had drug failures or not. I feel like it's very.
Hold on.
If I'm looking at through a corporate eye, I'm looking at a guy who's been injured and been out for a very long time. It has two strikes against him, one more strike, and he's gone.
Yeah, one more strike. He's got one more strike.
Yeah, but I'm not saying I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying I would. I'm saying there's a corporate argument for it.
If you're a corporate dude and you're sitting at an office, do you watch the product?
This is a corporation.
Are we talking about watching the product?
I don't know if but probably not everybody watches
you
the
better
product.
freaking watch the product. I mean, because before you make a decision to get rid of a
Watchtower
talent,
said Rey Mysterio.
All right,
Supposedly,
get the hell out of here. What's his name? What?
Rey Mysterio.
Oh, you said that?
No.
No, who?
Watchtower base.
Oh, Watchtower said Rey Mysterio.
No. Rae, dude, Ray's got such a following with the Latinos and all that.
Yeah.
Definitely not get rid of him.
No, he makes money.
needs to get healthy. But about the corporate thing, you have to watch the product before you make a decision to get rid of a talented wrestler like Evan Bourne. Yes, he's got two violations. He can't help himself if he's hurt. This is a business where you get hurt. Watch the stuff that he can do, the kind of matches that he can have. He's exciting. People react to him. He's amazing. So I would definitely not get rid of him. I would just hope that he stays healthy and he doesn't violate any more wellness rules.
Yeah.
Right.
But
well, we've got to wrap things up.
No.
Yes. Alex, we have to go.
Do not accept.
Alex just has to sit here all day and talk.
One more thing.
Okay.
I want to see Sami Zayn and Renee Young make cute little
Babies?
babies.
Okay, Cathy, Kelley, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley or here at AfterBuzz doing a bunch of shows.
And you can find me on Twitter, Alex Kaslov, COM, and you can also find me here. And maybe a bunch of. Are you gonna chat with me for chatting with Cathy ever?
We'll see.
Anyway.
You can find me at Cluminator, and next week we will announce we're going to be giving away a couple of these. You can see Performance Center WWE T-shirts. Not this one.
That sweaty one.
Particularly, not the. No one wants this one.
Why not?
But we have a couple we're going to be giving away.
Perspiring.
Yes.
It's a little slippery.
Perspirating?
So we're going to be giving away a couple of these. We'll announce next week how we're going to figure that out.
Cluminator the Perspirator.
Cluminator the Perspirator. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you
later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.